phones on, and we say good evening, Simon Grayson.
Good evening.
Good evening, Simon.
Eddie.
Simon, well, funny enough, Simon, I thought that was the best we've played this season in the first half. And then we just seem to capitulate once they get the goals.
Well, you're right, and there's not much more you can say. I thought we started the game ever so well. That we've talked all week about the build-up to the game, about getting a positive start. I thought the fans were brilliant, the players responded, we got at them. How many chances did we have in the first 4 or 5 minutes?
Well, Luciano could have had a hat-trick. Probably should have done.
And that was the start that we wanted. We got the goal and we looked very dominant, and the shape of the team was good. We worked them and pressed them and put balls into the box. And then the difference in both boxes were that the big lad Zidic gets 4 opportunities, 4 free headers or a shot as well. And that was the difference between the game. That he's a man, he's a big bloke. We didn't stop the source enough to him, and we certainly didn't pick up in the box, which was a major threat. And we warned the players at half time that the first goal that they scored was something we could have done better. And we needed to make sure that we had to be aware of that threat, and we didn't deal with it. But they're very young back four. They're going to make mistakes. Yeah. You've got Eddie White, Tom Leeds and Zach Thompson, all young boys. They were playing against men tonight. You look at their team out there tonight. They've all played in the Premiership. A lot of them in our team tonight are first time in the Championship and done ever so well so far. But you could see sort of the difference between the mentality and the strength in the team at this moment in time.
And would you agree, Simon, once they got up front, they basically controlled the game. They're a difficult side to get at. As you mentioned there, they've got that experience. You think it's something we need, Simon, at the back? You know, a dominant centre-back that will go into people, pin them up against the wall if necessary,
Yeah, look, we've tried to do these sort of deals and they've not come to fruition. We're fully aware that we've got a young team and this young team has done ever so well for large parts of the season. They are going to be up and down because that's the nature of learning the game, but you've obviously got to be aware that we're trying to fill an expectancy level here of trying to get promoted, and that's not easy. Yeah. You look at their back four compared to ours. They've got Murphy, Premiership, Caldwell, Scotland, Davis, Premiership, and Spectre as well. They're men, and our young lads are going to be up and down, and hopefully they'll learn from the experience tonight.
Simon, just looking at a lot of supporters are phoning up, and I presume the window's closed for us now, for the point of view of transfers coming in. Yeah. So where do we go for here then, Simon, in trying to improve that then?
Well, we've got to work hard on the training pitch. Yeah. I'm not sure if we can bring any more players in. Obviously, that's something that we've been trying to do. But obviously, we've got a budget that we've got to sort of probably stick to. And obviously, the merchant loan opens next week, and we've got to see what we can do. But it might be that we just have to stick with the players that we've got and try and make them better on the training pitch all the time. And maybe 1 or 2 players coming back from injury. Lee Bromby's back now, and obviously Alex Bruce is backing around it. Andy O'Brien is coming back to the training ground. It's something that we'll talk about probably later. And we just might have to deal with the players that we've already got here.
Hey, Simon, is that, you mentioned there, Simon, I've got to ask you the question about the budget. Is the budget strong enough to get us up in that top 6?
Well, look, it's going to be a lot lower than probably the budgets of Birmingham's and a lot of other teams, because they've been in the Premiership with the parachute payments as well, and they've got a way of spending their money. And we give them what we're given, and we've got to make the best of that.
Were you disappointed then, Simon, with not being able to bring people in, in this window? You're speaking the other week, you were hoping to bring a couple of players in. You've got a couple of players on loan, and basically, they're young players again, isn't it?
Yeah, well, look, as every manager, you stood here and you've been wanting to bring the best that you can bring in, and that's what we've tried to do. We've sort of earmarked a few players and positions that we'd like to strengthen. Obviously, we brought Adam Smith in, who's a young player and highly recommended, and hopefully he'll make a difference to us. But obviously, we'd have looked and tried to get 1 or 2 others in as well with the experience, because that's what we need. We are a young team right the way through the team.
Can you visualise then that you like Andy O'Brien and Lee Bromby, Bruce, pushing their way back into the side? Or?
Well, they're coming to the reckoning order that they've got to sort of. They've been working hard on the training ground. We've been unfortunate. He's been what's happened. Lee Bromby's been out for 6 weeks, and Alex has obviously been in around it. And then, to be fair, you look at the team. We've taken 7 points from 9 in the last 3 games, so you weren't going to change it too much. But there was a big gulfing difference in quality and experience in the game tonight.
And where do you go for here then, Simon? The window's shut. Is an emergency loan window opening soon again?
Was it open next week, I think? But that was our game against Bristol City.
It's a game we can win.
Yeah, of course, as we've said that to players. The players have got to take a lot of confidence out of the game tonight. That might sound daft off the back of a 4-1 defeat, but for 60 minutes, we played as well as we have done all season at home for that period of time, and there was some good play. The way we passed the ball around, with the tempo that we had, the balls going in the box, we looked a major threat. I think the stats show that we had twice as many crosses in the box as Birmingham, but they've scored the goals, and that's the difference. That every time the ball went in the box, when we were attacking, their strong defenders were around it and defending it. When the ball went in our box, we conceded 4 goals.
Well, yes, Simon, would you say then that, and looking at it, once you get your experienced defenders back, it might change it? Would you look and say, well, the back four as a unit might be too inexperienced, although they're giving it their all and they've done well.
Well, they are giving it their all, because you can see that they're not doing it through lack of effort and determination, because they're good, honest kids. But the 18, 19, and 20-year-old, and they're going to make mistakes, because that's the nature of the game. When we played the game at 18, 19-year-olds, we were making mistakes. We're still making mistakes at 30, and everybody can do that. But we do need some experience in there with it, and if it means that the other ones who come back from injury have to feature for us, then we have to do that, and we have to keep working hard on the training ground. We worked hard in the last 7 or 8 days on the training pitch, and you could see that within the performance for 60 odd minutes. But the difference in the box in the game was that the balls into the box were determined by a big lad who's probably on 50 grand a week.
Yeah, well, we know he's on a lot of money, but you've got to say that he goes well anyway.
Oh, yeah, but you can't. When you're marking in the box like that as a defender, you've got to make sure that you touch tight. You can't be 2 yards away from the play. That's not defending. You've got to be touch tight too.
Is that a lot of inexperience? We've seen it with the first goal, definitely, with young Tom. He used to get caught when they were running across him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All the goals were inexperience. Yeah. Even the second one, they could have dealt with Burke a little bit better by the touchline. Him and Darren. The next one goes in, it's another free header, and then a set piece goes in, and he's got a good delivery. We knew we were going to struggle tonight on set pieces, because we're not the biggest of teams. They've got some great delivery, and they've got the movement and the height. But it's not just the fourth goal; it's the other goals that concerned us. But we have to pick ourselves up when we get ready for the weekend. Going to Bristol City is a game that we can certainly go and win. We're downhearted, but we've got to be positive about what we can do. Yeah,
we actually look at the table, Simon. We're still there. If we can make a run and a little push, you can still get in among them.
Well, that's what we'll be trying to do. We'll keep working with the players. You look at some of the results tonight. Obviously, the one highlights the Ipswich beat West Ham 5-1. West Ham have gone out and nearly bought half the country today. Yeah. So we've got to keep working hard on the training pitch, keep believing that we can try and achieve something, and hopefully we can do that.
Cheers, Simon.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks very much to Simon Grayson joining us live from the tunnel inside Elland Road.